What's going on, guys? ShadowNinja here, and today we're going to be talking about the HAWKMOON, the brand new exotic hand cannon. Not brand new, because it's been in Destiny 1. It's been in Destiny since the beginning, especially if you play PlayStation. So this gun has made a return to Destiny 2. I was super excited. This is honestly my favorite hand cannon in Destiny 1. This is pretty much the only one I would use, just because it felt very nice. But this time around, things have changed. The intrinsic perk has changed, and I do think that this isn't just a PvP hand cannon anymore. Now, this video will focus on this weapon in a PvP aspect, so you have to wait for another day for me to go into detail with this on PvE. But right now, PvP, I will admit this isn't as strong as it used to be when compared to its Destiny 1 version. Now, the Destiny 1 version had, I think, Lucky Shot or something, but I do know it was basically 3 random bullets in your chamber was going to have 3 high-powered shots, and this was very, very good. Now, it wasn't, again, controlled. You didn't control this at all. It definitely worked out and made gunfights a lot better for you if you were using this hand cannon. And this HAWKMOON, especially on PlayStation 4 when I was using this until you guys Xbox guys got it, this was the hand cannon to use in PvP. But Destiny 2 changed things around, changed that perk out, took it out entirely and replaced it with something a little bit more player controlled to a degree. Now, the basic intrinsic perk is the ParaCasual Shot. Now, I probably botched the perk saying whatever. I'm horrible at names if you haven't noticed. But yes, so basically final blows and precision hits grant stacks of ParaCasual charge. The final round in the magazine deals bonus damage based on a number of stacks. Stowing the HAWKMOON on the final round removes this bonus. So there's a lot of micromanaging on this, perk in a PvP sense. If you reload, this obviously takes off your buff, things like that. So obviously don't reload. If you have the final bullet in the thing, don't swap out, use that final bullet. And it's the last perk, depending on your stack, especially if you get the 5 to 7 range, is a very, very powerful shot. So it can end times one shot to the head, especially this 5th and 6th shot, I believe, depending on what the player's health is. The perk itself is pretty powerful, but I found myself just not caring too much. I think when you're using this perk, trying to get the most out this weapon with this intrinsic perk, just don't reload this weapon that much, because for one, it has alloy magazine, so this weapon will reload faster when the magazine is empty, so that has that going for it. So again, use up all your things, use up all your shots, hit your shots based on what you get in terms of your charge. Is the last shot's going to be really high powered, things like that. So yeah, that's one thing I'm very curious about in terms of just seeing what people do with it, how they manage it. But again, I didn't care too much about it. I was getting the perk and it was working for me a fairly bit. I wasn't trying to micromanage. I was just I was doing my best not to reload. That's basically how it, I was working it. Now, one thing that's very odd is that as of right now, this isn't the full state HAWKMOON that we are going to be using. This seems to be some steps, some phases, some time-gated things we're gonna have to do to unlock the full power of the HAWKMOON. Now, for one, this is awesome in my opinion. I do like that there's more than just a catalyst. Well, there is no catalyst right now, but again, it's nice seeing random rolls for an exotic. Now, this could be entirely experimental. We don't know what Bungie has in mind with this thing, whether it's gonna be a one and done. Maybe certain weapons in the future will have random rolls. But you're seeing here on screen, these are all the roles you can get. Now, the slots you can position them in, I'm a little bit curious with, because again, these are all varied, and getting random rolls on a HAWKMOON, how's that going to work? Are we going to unlock these and build it out ourselves and what we want to use? I think that would be pretty awesome. I'll make this exotic very powerful for both PvP and PvE. Will we have to get redrops of this weapon to get certain rolls, things like that? We have to wait and see, but I am not against this, thing at all. I think it's something to experiment with, something to make, more exotics more unique, things like that. But in terms of the overall feeling of this gun in PvP, I know I've rambled about, the perks, the rolls, things like that. It's a very nice handling feeling hand cannon, and it's honestly my best hand cannon to use in PvP. Now, the rolls are not as good as other hand cannons out there. You can certainly get something better, but as a 140 hand cannon, this is definitely in the sweet spot of the meta for hand cannons. And then for me, I don't know what it is. It just feels very, very nice, smooth handling. I feel like I'm, landing my shots more often with other hand cannons. I've always struggled with hand cannons, as, to be honest, in Destiny 2. But with Destiny 2 adding in the HAWKMOON, I'm actually getting a footing and getting much better with hand cannons, or at least this hand cannon in general. Usually with other hand cannons, it takes a little bit of a learning curve to do. But with this one, I jumped right in. I was going hard with it. It felt right at home, and I was enjoying it very, very much. So I guess my final thoughts on the PvP version of this gun, or the PvP review for this weapon, is that it is a very solid feeling hand cannon, but you're not going to get the most out of the perks in general, the rolls. Those perks are good to, help you perform better slightly, but the intrinsic perk isn't going to be drastic. I do think the intrinsic perk is more of a PvE focused perk than a PvP focused perk, but you can make it work in PvP. Just don't give it too mind. Randomly, you're going to get a headshot, and it's going to be 270 crit, and you're like, whoa, that was a lot of damage I just did to that one guy. You're going to one-shot him, max health, and he's going to die, and you're going to be like, that was awesome. That's the most you're going to get out this weapon in terms of its intrinsic perk. But in general, guys, when it comes to the feeling of this hand cannon as a 140, it is the best there is. But in terms of perks and rolls right now, until we get them random rolls, until the time gated thing gets reduced or we find out what we have to do next, we are not going to know the full power of this weapon in PvP or even PvE. But for more Destiny 2 videos like this, as well as looking forward to my PvE review of this weapon, because it's gonna be interesting, definitely hit that subscribe button for all those good videos for Destiny 2, this weapon, or other videos I upload, as well as drop this video like if you found it informative. With that being said, that's all I got for this one. ShadowNinja here, and I'm out.